Good morning, Ms. Walker. Thank you for participating in my teacher interview portion. Please give us information regarding how you serve students with disabilities in a self-contained classroom. If you would start out giving us a little introduction with your years of experience with serving students with disabilities.
My years of experience here at Moats Elementary is 2 years working in the self-contained unit. I have enjoyed working with kiddos from ages kinder through 5th grade and supporting not only our students but also working and networking with our families as well. That's very important to the program.
Okay. I have several questions that I'll need you to answer. So just give us as much information as possible. What kind of adaptive equipment is used in your self-contained classroom?
Some of the adaptive equipment we use in our self-contained program here, we have a lift system, which is a system used to provide the students with upper torso support as well as an opportunity to navigate through the program to create some independence for them. We also have students in wheelchairs. We have what we call standing frames to help to strengthen the gross motor skills that they might need to perform in and also strengthen their legs. We also have other adaptive equipment such as gait trainers, walkers, anything that the kids need in order to navigate the classroom or to participate in activities. There are OT scissors that are supplied and provided to students who may need support with cutting and fine motor task skills as well. We have sensory jackets or weighted blankets and weighted lap pads for kids who may be having some sensory integration concerns. So there's many different adaptive equipment, forms of adaptive equipment that's used in our program.
How do you know when a student is making progress? Or how do you document progress for your students?
Well, in our self-contained program, because we like to look at the whole child and get a very global view, so we use many different means of documentation and ways to document the students' progress. So when we're documenting students' progress, we want to look at teacher-made checklists. We want to look at academic and IEP goals that we're working on with the individual students. So you'll constantly see brigance being administered throughout the school year, up to 3 times a year. So there's always ongoing data collection through observation, collaborating and networking with our therapists to gather also information on our students.
What is included in an IEP for a student in your program?
As far as when you're looking at the IEP and the components of an IEP for this to support the students of this program, we definitely look at the present levels of academic and functional performance of our students. So we're looking at their strengths and weaknesses, which are addressed. We look at the academic goals and objectives that are written and proposed to the team. And we also look at what are allowable accommodation and modification that may be needed in order for that student to feel successful and be successful within their own program or within the general ed curriculum when they go out to co-curricular activities. So we do look at those things. We also look at the schedule of service page, so we'll know how much time is that student needs in order to work with different therapists. So all of those components in the IEP are critical to making sure you have a good individualized educational plan for that particular student. And also, don't let me forget this one. I do want to make sure you understand we do look at assessments, and that's informal assessment as well as formal assessment, state assessment. Our district assessments are very much a component that we do include in there, so we'll know which assessment that student will be taking, whether it's a STAR Alt assessment or a STAR accommodated assessment.
Okay. How do you and the teacher assistants help students to become successful?
Well, I can't give my paraprofessional or my assistants enough praise. They are very vital to our program. The paraprofessionals must be aware of the students' goals and objectives that have been written, so they'll know which goals they are targeting throughout the school day. The assistants are great in helping to work in small group activities. They also help prepare materials, conduct one-on-one activities with students, prepare meals, help with toileting, personal care skills. We are very much a team. We have to be, because we have to be able to run our program smoothly, because that means we all have to be on the same page, and we must use the same language so we're not confusing our students. And so my aides are very, very great in that manner in helping our program to be successful and the students to be successful within the program.
What is the most important thing you need administrators to know about your classroom? What does HOTS, higher order thinking skills, look like in your classroom setting?
Well, the most important thing for an administrative that is working alongside or coming in to a special ed program or self-contained unit is to understand the severity of needs that you may observe in that program. And to understand that our students can learn. We do believe all children can learn with structure, with the support of our family or our stakeholders, with the opportunity to feel love, to give our students patience, hope, consistency. So we want the administrators to know that these things are very much needed in the program. And so when you come in, there may be 4 different groups of instructions going on. Students may be using adaptive equipment to complete tasks, maybe using assistive technology. So our learning environment may look a lot different than anyone else's, but we're still learning because we're working with the student at where they are and taking them to where we would like for them to be.
What is the most important thing you need general education and elective teachers to know about your students and their success?
Many times when our students are participating within the general ed body through co-curricular or special activity like PE, music, art, recess, general assemblies, we definitely want general ed teachers to understand that our students are capable and competent to participate in activities as well, as long as we are providing them with allowable and accommodations and modifications to help them feel successful. But they are students that are able to learn.
How does a classroom differ from a general ed classroom?
Within our program, our self-contained program, one of the ways is it may look different or sound a little different is because our teacher-student ratio may look different. Whereas a general ed classroom may have 25-1, we may have a smaller ratio for student-to-teacher ratio in order for us to meet their individual needs and work very closely on the skills that they need in order to show that they're growing. Other ways our classroom may look a little different from general ed is that we do, again, use different types of materials, equipment, tools, and strategies to help our students learn. And if that means through assistive technology, through hands-on equipment, we will have to do that in order to help our students learn using visual schedules and many other tools and strategies.
Okay. And you've mentioned those throughout our time together.
Yes.
Do the students in the program have an opportunity to work in general education environment?
Most definitely. We definitely want to make sure our students are always part of the school body. We do embrace inclusion as much as possible. Our students are able to participate in the general ed setting through our lunch, through recess, through general assembly, through PE, music, art. We have many ways in which our students are included within our school body.
Okay. How do you prepare for transition back to general ed for your self-contained students?
One of the ways which is very important to me is to make sure there's communication between the general ed teacher, the family members, the students, and setting goals and for that child to work toward. We also want to challenge our students and give them a very enriched curriculum, so when they are able to participate in a general ed setting, then they are able to also contribute, make contributions to that setting by working and networking with the general ed teacher, and also aligning our curriculum up with the general ed curriculum. It's very important that we try to teach as close to grade level TEKS as possible.
How do you prepare students to take the STAR test? You mentioned earlier STAR accommodated and STAR out.
Yes, as far as the state assessments, in preparation of the state assessment, we start at the beginning of the year addressing all of the prerequisite skills. We look at where our students are through baseline data, and we continuously throughout the year make sure they have the allowable accommodations, and make the modifications throughout our curriculum just to make sure the students are getting what they need and very familiar with the accommodations that's being provided and how to use them when they're taking a state assessment independently. So we want to make sure we're working and networking with everyone involved, which includes the families, the general ed teachers, as well as the student themselves.
Okay. Well, thank you, Ms. Walker, for taking the time out of your busy schedule to meet with me and participate in this teacher interview to help future teachers become better teachers and for our students to have a brighter future. Once again, we appreciate you and thank you for all that you do for students with disabilities.
You're more than welcome.